tell you, number one, Air Force is a tough football team, period. Don't have to look at the score. Every year, it's the toughest game to get ready for. Because of what they do. So we got to give the offense a lot of credit. A lot of people say, well, defense played great. A lot of reason why defense played great because you're standing on the sidelines. So I told them downstairs, one of our more complete efforts. You know, it's about being disciplined, being physical, doing the things we needed to do, and you know, we got to 8-0, and now we need to move on. About as simple as that. This time of year, it's no win is that much bigger than any other win. Next 3 out of 4 ball games, you got to go on the road, and so we got a lot of work to do. All I got. Great job. Well, a lot of it has to do with Ed, and a lot of it has to do with the offensive line. We were down 3 starting offensive linemen that didn't play in this ball game, and for us to be able to run the ball like we did and do the things we need to do speaks volumes for what we can do here in the future. Because all the rest of those guys were younger players, and so that excited me. I told them in pregame that the thing that you had to be able to do is you want to be a champion. It's always your number 2 guy has to step in and has to make plays. And tonight, I told them that last Sunday when we knew that those guys weren't going to play, and they stepped up to the plate and they did so. So, you know, that helps all of us.
You guys have maybe 2 offensive linemen that are considered to be future pros in Marcus and Jake. You talk about 3 guys who were playing tonight that couldn't normally play. Is this maybe your deepest and best offensive lineman?
Well, I don't know. You know, I got to go watch the film, see what they did, and you know, I think you got to give our offensive staff a lot of credit for the schematics of what we tried to get done and the checks that we did, because they move around a lot. I mean, they do a lot of zone blitzing, a lot of stunning, a lot of slanting. So it's you know, for our group to bring in a number 2 group, but I felt like the whole group really started paying attention clear last Sunday. And I tell you, to be honest with you, you got to give our scout team group a lot of credit. Especially the offensive scout group, because, you know, to get ready for the speed of the game, and you saw what happened. First, we didn't handle it very well. The first drive of the game against them, we you know, we struggled. They went down and scored, and then we started to catch up a little bit. But you know, it's Coach Calhoun and his staff do a great job. Both sides of the ball, they do a great job. Probably out for the year. Ankle.
It looked like almost
I don't want to talk about it, to be honest with you.
kind of like the blocking or all of it?
Any of it. I'm not very happy about it, but we'll just go on and we'll keep it all positive.
Without seeing the film yet, just standing from the sideline, the Team Air Force is this the best game y'all played so far?
Oh, I don't know. I thought we played well at Baylor. I think Baylor got bowl eligible today, didn't they? You know, to hold that offense to 10 points, I think is starting to speak volumes of what kind of defensive group we have here, and the way they played together and what they've done. You know, and offensively, what we've been able to do. And you know, we've got rolling. UNLV has had a week off. They got 2 weeks to prepare. We're going to play at 8 o'clock at night next week at their place, and then you got to go to Utah. 3 out of our 4 ball games are on the road. So you know, we've got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do to get done what we need to get done to win a championship. But we've always said if you're going to win, you got to win on the road. And you know, we understand. We got a good San Diego State team coming here for the last game in the original Carter. And I tell you what, I was really excited about the size of the audience we had here tonight, because they made a big difference. We had a big crowd. I was really excited for the Rangers. You can ask my wife. I came home and I was working on game planning about the last 3 innings, and I just stopped because it was just exciting to watch, to be a part of it, knowing we're up here in North Texas and know it was the first time for them to do that. I mean, it was just, and couldn't happen to a better person than Nolan Ryan and his group. I mean, it's just awesome. So get a chance to be part of history and be a part of the weekend where we were able to get to our 8th ball game. That was the 39th win for the senior class. They started the season off at 31. If they can win 40, they can win 43. They'll be the winningest. So they got to win 4 more in the next 5 ball games to be able to do that, which I think is exceptional. and all of them are going to be hard because of their own reasons. But we got to get healthy. You know, I think we'll have a chance for Zach Roth to be back next week, and I think Dooley to be back by Utah. So, you know, again, the next guy's going to step up. Kelly, Jeremy Coleman, and a couple of the other younger defensive linemen stepped up tonight, because this is not one of those easier ball games to go into as a young player and never played against it and do so. And schematically, they give you some problems, especially on the perimeter. And our guys made some great adjustments. I was really excited about that, because a lot of those guys are making some of those adjustments are guys that are going to be here in the future. So it's fun talking and doing that, because it's when you get coaches on the field, on the sideline, where they understand what's going on, it makes my job and my defensive staff's job a lot easier.
Specifically, what is the number one challenge in preparing to defend them?
Speed of the game.
And what did your guys do?
Well, number one, you know, if you look at the history, we've always done, you know, Coach Bumpus was at all three academies. You know, I was at the Naval Academy, and then I've always played the Air Force Academy all the way back to blame all the Morgans. I mean, didn't play against D. Dallas, but I mean, they've always, you know, the key is you got to be able to play fast. You got to be able to play assignment sound, and you got to understand the plays that they're trying to get accomplished to you. If kids don't understand angles, and they don't understand movements, then what you do is you get yourself in a lot of trouble. And our kids, that's why we start all the way back in the spring, because if you just want to go out and just take dive quarterback pitch, then they're going to get in a lot of trouble. If you just treat them like a normal offense. And so we try to teach them the concept of the offense. And to be honest with you, it helps us against other offenses, because defense is about eyes and feet. If you can get your eyes in the right place, and you can run your feet to places, and you have a chance to be successful. And really, I'm not sure it's not the reason we started on Sunday night, going back into Air Force 4 weeks ago, and this is where we've kind of started changing. Our defensive group has started really playing. I'm not sure that we haven't got back into doing the right things, taking the right steps, and starting to hunt together. I mean, we gave up 230 yards, but I think comparatively, these guys are averaging whatever they were averaging. But I think, again, you have to go back to our offense. When they don't have the football, it's really hard for them to move the football. So I've got to give Ed and the offensive line and everybody over there, the offensive staff, a lot of credit for this game tonight. But that's always been the formula for us if we're going to beat Air Force. If you're going to beat Air Force, you have to beat them at their game. You got to be able to ground it out. You got to be able to control the football, and you got to score points. If you don't score points and you get behind, and then you're in the middle of something where you may not catch up. And when we've gotten beat by them, that's what's happened to us. Okay, we let it be a close game, and you know they're going to play good in close games. Today we got fortunate right before the half and got some scores, and you know that changes the ball game and the makeup of how things are run then. So again, I go back to it. You know, I have a lot of respect for what they do. Obviously, we go over and stand behind them, because I think it's really important for what they do, because we get a chance to play this game and sleep at night because of what they do. And Army and Navy. So having coached there, I understand. Having a son that was part of it, all of that is very important to me.
And you feel like you just really wore them down, and especially with just right before the half that it started to get...
Oh, I don't know. You know, they come from everywhere, but I thought the offense did a really nice job. Did a really nice job of doing it. I felt like we'd kind of been a funk. I told them in pregame, I said, you guys got to get your swagger back. I don't care. We got three new starting offensive linemen. We got good enough players here to go play. I expect you to play well tonight, and I expect you to play one of your best ball games that we played this season, and they did. And that's all I asked them. I didn't tell them anything specific, and I didn't give them any way out. If you do this, then you'll play well. No, we're going to play well. It's time for us to play well. If you want to win championships, you got to do that in the last 4 or 5 ball games, and we're going to have to do it on the road. So a lot of fun.
Talk about identity back in week 3 or 4. You didn't get the identity that was sort of established by the talent players you guys have established up front, both on your offense and defensive line.
Well, I mean, it's pretty well documented that when we play well, usually that's where we control things, and I think most people do. If you can control things up front with your front 4 on defense and your front 5 on offense, you're always going to have a chance to be successful. And you know, when we're at our best, that's what we do. I mean, we control the clock, we play action, and we do some things, and then if we have to drop back, we drop back. And you know, we've got a 5th-year quarterback that can get us in plays when he sees things, and that's what he did a great job tonight of. You know, our last touchdown before the half, we felt like we had him on something because as hard as our corners play with the run fake, and we were able to, get a fade route. But they're very well disciplined, doing what they do and how they do it, and so they're going to make you earn it. They're going to make you earn the whole field, and they made us do that tonight. So, you had another question.
Yeah, how important was that touchdown right before
Oh, I think it's big. I mean, to go up 2 scores, and then we knew, and we talked about it at halftime, they were going to come back, with triple option teams, going to come out the second half. They made their adjustments. What are we going to do? So you got to match their intensity, and you got to match their speed, and they got us a little bit. We ended up being able to stop them, and then we were able to get down and get a score, and then then you kind of then the game's kind of in our advantage. Because they're not going to be a drop back team. That's not what they do. That's not. But I would tell you this much: I was very impressed with Tim Jefferson. Not only tonight, but just watching film. Tell you what, he throws the ball really well. I mean, he really does. He's an all-around quarterback. He's not just a triple option quarterback. He's an all-around quarterback.
Were you surprised to see him back there punting the ball?
No, we watched it. The key to it is, except for the long one, that's my fault, the last punt. But 3 or 4 of those were 4th and 1, and they're in an offensive formation. I wasn't going to get a chance. We were going to stand with our defense on the field and know that they're going to punt it if it rolled. And my bad. The last one where it was like 4th and 14, I should have ran the punt return team in. But again, it was on their sidelines. So, but he had done it 3 or 4 times. They wanted to keep Curley off the field, and they were able to get that done. So, it's again, if you watch, we had our number 2 in the final drive. We had even our next group of offensive linemen in the final drive on our touchdown, and our whole number 2 defense was in the final drive. So still we're trying to get guys in. It's still about getting to the next 4 ball games. It's nothing worse would be if I got a guy laying out on the field and I didn't get him out of the game when the game was done. So whether you give up yards doesn't make any difference. It's still about winning.
The field, was it?
Field was great. Nah. That's got 10 foot of sand on it, except on the sides down in the corner of the end zone where the water stands more. On the tunnel side, the field was fine. There was nothing wrong with the field. We played on it plenty of times when it was a lot wetter than it was today. It's the color.
You mentioned the Rangers. You watched that and all that.
I did last night. Yep.
Do you think sometimes people around here might take for granted the run of success that you guys are? Ranger fans right now aren't, because they've never done it in 39 years, but you've spoiled them the last 7 or 8 years. Do you think
Well,
these people get spoiled?
I don't know. I will say this to you. I don't think so. I think people understand it because I think you saw 40-some thousand people. 10 years ago, we saw 12,000 purple, and we had a big crowd. Other people were there. And now it's all purple. Air Force had a pretty good contingent tonight, but as a general, it's all purple. I think we're turning that corner, and I think there's a lot of people, whether they're TCU graduates or not, that have become Horned Frog fans, and they come to games and they're part of it. So, I really have no beef with any of our group. I think they were great tonight, and they've been great all year. I don't think we've had a crowd underneath 38 in any of our home games we've had this season, not included the 1AA game. So, it's been pretty awesome. I just wish that I could watch the World Series. I mean, World Series is coming to North Texas, and I'm going to be watching, UNLV or Utah, or I'd like to be sitting up there somewhere watching a baseball game eating a hot dog, and I'm going to be eating a cold sandwich, watching somebody throw a 3-step drop. I mean, it's go Cliff Lee.
So are y'all the best team in Texas series?
I don't know. Right now, we're trying to be the best team in the Mountain West Conference. UNLV, 2 weeks, going to be a tough ball game. Their house, you play them at night, they always play better. And then you got to go to Utah, and we haven't beat Utah there. So, that's what we're going to try to get accomplished. I mean, it was easy. Anybody could do it. I mean, that's why I'm excited for this team. And every challenge I've asked this team to do, this team's kind of been interesting because every challenge I've asked this team to do, They've stepped up too this year.